The room was too bright for a place where men fought to stay alive. Fluorescent lights hummed overhead, making the air feel thin and metallic. A rookie nurse stood at the far end of the trauma bay, her hands trembling around a tray of instruments. Her uniform crisp, but her confidence frayed. The top doctors, seasoned, sharp-eyed, and tired, laughed softly when she stepped in, like she was a joke that had wandered into the wrong room. They didn't know her name yet. They only knew she was young. They only knew she was new. They only knew she didn't belong. She swallowed the sting of their whispers. She forced herself to breathe, to focus, to remember every lesson she'd been taught. She wasn't just a nurse. She was a person who had seen too much and still chose to help. And today, she was about to prove it. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're re-watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The bay door slammed open, and the room shifted. The smell of blood and antiseptic snapped through the air. SEAL Admiral was carried in on a stretcher, his face pale, his uniform soaked, his body broken in ways the eyes couldn't fully understand. He was a legend, a man who had led missions no one else survived. He was a hero, and he was dying. The doctors moved like a storm, quick and practiced. Their voices clipped with authority. "Get him stabilized. We don't have time." The rookie nurse stepped closer, her heart pounding like a war drum. She had seen combat wounds in training, she had seen them in textbooks, but seeing them in real life, seeing a living legend fade under fluorescent lights, made her feel like a child again. One of the doctors scoffed. "We don't need her messing up our work." The nurse didn't respond. She didn't argue. She just watched the Admiral's chest rise and fall, slow and shallow. She watched the machines, the monitors, the rapid movements of people who thought they had all the answers. Then she saw it. A small tear in the Admiral's uniform near his shoulder. A hidden wound, one that the others missed because they were too busy moving fast. It was a deep cut, bleeding into the tissue, quietly killing him from the inside. The nurse's training kicked in. Her hands stopped shaking. She stepped forward, voice steady but soft. "Sir," she said, "I need a suture kit." The lead doctor frowned. "We already have a team." But she didn't stop. She didn't back down. She moved like she had done this 100 times. She knelt beside the Admiral, her fingers careful, precise, as if she was threading a needle through a fragile thread of fate. The room grew quiet. Even the doctor stopped to watch. Her hands worked in silence. Her eyes stayed on the wound. Her breath stayed measured. Her mind held one thought: this man deserves a chance. As she stitched, the Admiral's breathing steadied. The bleeding slowed. The color returned to his face, faint but real. The monitors calmed, like the sea after a storm. The doctor's laughter vanished. The murmurs turned into whispers of disbelief. A silence fell over the room, heavy, reverent, and strangely warm. When she finished, she stood slowly, her hands still trembling, just slightly. She expected to be scolded. She expected to be dismissed. She expected the world to keep moving like she was nothing. But then the Admiral opened his eyes. He looked at her. Really looked. And he did something no one in that room expected. He lifted his hand. He saluted. The gesture was small, but it hit the room like thunder. The doctors froze. The air trembled. Even the fluorescent lights seemed to dim. He didn't salute because she was perfect. He saluted because she was brave. He saluted because she chose to do what was right when everyone else doubted her. The nurse felt a tear slip down her cheek, and she didn't hide it. She didn't need to. For the first time, the room wasn't laughing at her, was honoring her, because courage isn't loud, it's quiet, it's steady. It's the choice to act when the world tells you not to. And that choice can change everything, because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. If you felt this story, comment, salute, and subscribe to Whispered Words for more stories that remind us why heroes come in every form.